Hey everybody, welcome to the week 3 guided assignment. We're going to look a little more at customers, products, and services, as you can tell from the title. Anyway, so I'm just again going to walk through, as always, the assignment overview just gives you a bunch of information that I think is worth reading. So take the time to read through that. And then the guidelines actually tells us how to do the assignment. Um, so again, I'll show you what happens if I just click on this link. It always gives me this error. So for me, I right click on the link and I say open the link in a in private window. When I do that, I always have to go through the security verification. Sometimes I even have to decide which of these things are crosswalks, but I never know for sure. Okay, I think those are all the crosswalks. All right, I'm not a robot. Anyway, and so maybe yours will work without having to go through that rigmarole, but otherwise you have to, when I open it uh, in a private window or an incognito window, it always wants to make sure I'm not a robot, which I guess makes sense. So here I am in my sample company. I'm going to move my instructions over here to the other screen so you can see what I'm doing in QuickBooks. So that was step one, open the QuickBooks Online company. And then step two is to open the customer hub. There's a convenient little button right here. So we'll click on the customer hub. And again, you can see some of the things it currently has set up for us. And we're going to review our existing customer list. So we can do that just by clicking right here on the left menu, customers and leads. And I'll see all of my different customers that are in this sample company already created. This is the sort of the default setup where it shows their name, their company name, their phone, and how much they owe you or the open balance. You can actually edit those settings right here and have it show what you want. But that's not part of what we're doing right now. Just want you to see that you can do that in your real company file. All right, so now we're at step 4 to create a practice customer. And we're going to use the customer information that's specified in the guidelines of the problem. So as you can guess, to create a new customer, I'm just going to click on new customer. And then the information it gives me uh, in the assignment is Barry D. Hatchett. So first name Barry, middle initial D, Hatchett. Company name is Split Decisions. Firewood Company. And you can see I'm just like tabbing through, or you can use your mouse. And then one thing, depending on how you like this to be set up, you can decide how it's going to show the name. Do you want it listed by the customer's name, by the company's name, with the customer's name, with last name, comma first? So I'm just going to leave it the way it put it up there. But again, in real life, you could do that however you want. Barry's email is Barry at splitdecisionsfirewood.com. His phone number, 928-555-0147. We're not going to do a CC or a BCC, but you can, right? That would be like if you send emails, is there someone else that should get the email too? Some people might like you to not only send it to them, but to their office manager or something like that. We're going to leave all of those blank, but of course they're all there for you. The address is 404 Log Jam Lane, Safford, Arizona 85546. And I think that's all the customer information. And that's really all there is. You can just, you can see, you can put notes on the customer here. You can even attach things, notes or pictures or whatever. You can set up payment terms, which we'll learn more about later. How they primarily pay, how long they have to pay is what we mean by terms, sales and delivery options, other things. And then there's additional information like you can make customer types, but we don't have any set up for this company, etc. So there's lots of other, and then you can even add custom fields, relationships like where we heard about them from, etc. So there's lots of stuff, but we're not going to add any of that. We're just going to click save. And now we've created our first customer. There's Barry D. Hatchett. So that was step 4 in the guidelines. Step 5 is to review it, make sure it appears in our customer list. So if I just click on customers and leads again, it'll take me back to the customer list, and there I can see him, Barry D. Hatchett. All right, so we've created our first practice customer. So the next thing we're going to learn about is our products and services. And so they're up here under sales and get paid. If I just expand that, I can go to the overview and find it from there, or I can see down here at the bottom of my list is products and services. So products and services are the things that you sell to your customers. And so when I clicked on that product and services link, I can see these are all the products and services that we have in the system. Design, you can see, is a service. Under type, it tells you what it is. This shows you how much we sell it for to our customers. There can be a description if you want it. So we have services, and then we have inventory products. Those are products that we keep track of how many we have on hand. And then there's also the option for non-inventory products. Some products we just don't keep track of that on. So those are the different types, and you can see that this sample company even has them set up by categories. So fountains, and then these are all the different products and services. Landscaping, all the different, it's all services there, etc. So there's our product and service list. That was 7, reviewing the several existing products and services in the sample company. And then 8, identifying the examples of different product service types. So services, which is work we do for people, as opposed to products, which are like items we sell. And those can be either non-inventory, meaning we don't keep track of how many there are, or inventory that we do keep track of. All right. Number 9, we're going to create a practice service item. Again, you probably guessed by now, we go up to the top, we click on new product or service, and we're going to choose service to make a service item. And then we're just going to use the information that is in the assignment here. And we're going to call this design consultation. We're not going to put a SKU for it. That's a shopkeeping unit. That would be like a barcode number. For some businesses, you would use those. Others, you wouldn't. Let's see. Are we going to do a category? We're not going to put this under a category. We're not going to add a description to it, but we are going to put our sales price. So we sell this at $50 to our customers. And then we're going to leave the income account as services. We're going to, let's see. We're going to change sales tax because it's a service. It's not going to be taxable. We're going to edit the sales tax. We're going to choose non-taxable. And then this is, I purchased this product or service from a vendor. Well, we don't purchase services typically from a vendor. We're going to hit save and close. And then if we scroll down, we can see there's our design consultation. It's a service. We charge $50 for it. So that was step 9. We created a practice service item that was non-taxable called design consultation. And then step 10, we're going to create a practice inventory item, again, using the information in the assignment. So again, I'll hit new product or service. This time I'll click on inventory. The name is, what did we call it? Rock art sculpture. Again, no SKU, no category. Our initial quantity on hand is going to be 0. And we'll use today's date, which I'm making this video on July 9th. You'll be making it on a different day. We're not required to, but we could put a reorder point, which means QuickBooks would notify us when our quantity drops below a certain amount. In this case, by saying 0 on hand, it means we don't have any of these yet, but we intend to get some and carry them as inventory, and we'll add them to our inventory later. Our inventory asset account, we're actually going to leave inventory asset. We could put a description if we want. The sales price, this is the amount we sell this product to our customers for. It's going to be $1,200. And then we're going to leave the income account as sales of product income. Sales tax, it automatically guessed taxable at a standard rate. We're going to leave it at that. And then our cost, what we paid for the product, or what we usually pay for it, is $800. And we're going to leave that account as cost of goods sold. So all of this tells QuickBooks how to handle these products and services when we add them to a customer's invoice or sales receipt later on. We can even put in a preferred vendor if we have someone we typically buy these from, but we're going to leave that blank. We're going to hit save and close. And now we have, where'd it go? Oh, look, it put it down here under pest control because I skipped a part of that. I think. Yeah, see, I was supposed to put it under the category design. So that's okay. Sometimes we forget something. I'm just going to hit edit. I'll bring this back up and I'll edit my category to be under design. Then I'll hit save and close. And now we should see it up here under design. Rock art sculpture. Our sales price is $1,200. Cost is $800. It's taxable. And we don't have any of them on hand right now. So there we go. So we've now finished. That was number 10, adding a practice inventory item. Now number 11, we're going to review the new service item and inventory product and the products and services list. So that's kind of what I just did by showing you where they are on here. Our design consultation and our rock art sculpture. So there they are. So number 12, we're going to run a customer list and a product service list. So we're going to come up here to reports. And so we're going to do customer list. Let's see. Actually, yeah, it's called a customer contact list in here. So that's what we're going to call it. And then we can see there's all of our customers. This is going to be part of what we turn in down into the what to submit section. So we can save this. I usually just save it to my downloads. But again, the easiest way to save this as a PDF is click print, click save as PDF, and it just saves it to my downloads right there. Then we're also going to do a products and service list. I'll go back to my reports. I type in product. I can see product/service list. There it is, all my products and services. I should have double checked, right, when I ran my other list that my rock art sculpture is in here, because that's what I'll be looking at when I look at your assignments that you submit, right? And I can see the rock art sculpture and I can see my design consultation. So those are the ones I just added. And again, I'll save it as a PDF. It'll go to my downloads. And I've done that. All right. So now all I have to do is submit the assignment by going back to the assignment here in Canvas. And then again, since I'm on the, we'll see what it looks like here. Yeah, so I can click on that, do my product and service list, add another file, my customer contact list, and then I could also add a third file, which is going to have my answer to these reflection questions. Anyway, so that's it. There's the walkthrough. I hope that's helpful to you, and I hope you learned a little bit more about QuickBooks, and I hope it prepares you as you do the individual assignment.